So this is just a half sheet of 3/4 inch Sapele mahogany plywood. And what I find frustrating is in the old days I could do a full sheet of this stuff as easy as I could do just this half sheet. So if you want to see what I'm doing with this piece of 3/4 inch mahogany plywood, stick around. First thing I'm going to do is rip it down to size on my table saw. Hey, if you get a chance and you like what you see here, like and subscribe.
Once I cut it to size, I prep it for a seal coat of resin. This seal coat will help when I go ahead and do my inlays and I inset all my colors, and I can clean it up a lot easier. This coat doesn't have to be perfect, but we want as few air bubbles in it as possible. Then threw it on the CNC and started cutting out the lake. Here I'm using my GoPro, which was a disaster because there was so much dust you can't even see what's going on. And if you've ever used MDF before, you know it makes a lot of dust. So I finally had to put the dust shoe back on. After we engraved the lake, we engraved the letters. And then the border of the city limit. Used pearlescence blue to fill in the lake and all the border. Rubbed some pigment into the letters by hand and wiped it clean with acetone. The first road we cut was Highway 95 from the north to the south. I didn't have to mask it, but it made the cleanup a lot easier when I sprayed the black into the highway. The seal coat with the resin is what allows this to be cleaned up real easily with a damp acetone rag. And then it was time to cut the small main roads. Using a 1/16 inch end mill. And the larger main roads get a 1/8 inch end mill. And finally, we used a 1/4 inch end mill to cut out the shape of the state of Arizona. And as a final cleanup, I use acetone, and that removes any oils that might have come off my hands or any other kind of grime. This isn't a shameless plug and I'm not getting paid, but I just decided to try a different resin. I really like the workability of this resin. It set up a lot faster, but I still had plenty of time to level it out and to work it and remove the air bubble. This is just notice to other old guys. If you call while I'm doing resin, I'm not answering the phone. I used a foam brush to do the chopping, which I would advise against doing this next time. It added way more bubbles than I cared for. And I covered it with a piece of cardboard to keep it from getting dust. But I still came back every 20 minutes or so to check the bubbles and to give it a little flash. So I'm not sure where I got this trick of masking off the back side, but when it's still soft and you pull the tape off, all the drips disappear.
You ever heard the saying that the best cops have a criminal mind? I think the same thing kind of goes for a fireman deep down as a pyromaniac. Oh, baby, this thing is shiny. Looks pretty good. My intent is in the future, if someone wants one for their house, I can put a little star wherever they live, if they live in Lake Havasu. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.